Hello, welcome back to another YouTube video. We're going to look at external influences and interest rates and inflation rates, which is 2.5.1. All I ask for is a subscribe and like, and let's get to the video. So interest rates tells you the cost of borrowing or the return on savings. For example, interest rate for borrowing tells you how much you will have to pay back for borrowing money, such as a loan, and interest rates for saving tells you how much money you will get in return for saving, such as a savings account. Now, change in interest rates affects businesses in many ways. Low interest rates means it's cheaper to borrow money, so firms have lower costs if they borrow money. Also, consumers may borrow money to spend because it's cheaper to do so. Low interest rates means people get less returns on savings, so they may be less likely to save and just more likely to spend, so there's more sales for businesses. However, high interest rates, businesses have to pay back more on their loans, which means there's a higher cost. Also, with high interest rates, people have to pay back more on their personal loans, which means less disposable income, obviously less demand now. And high interest rates, also people get better returns on their savings, so they'll be maybe more likely to save. With inflation now, this is just the overall increase in the price of goods and services, and there are two types. You have demand pull. This is when there's too much demand, usually because of an increase in disposable income. Businesses cannot keep up with demand, so they just increase the price of their products. Then you have cost push inflation. This is when rising costs push up prices, usually caused by the wage price spiral, which I'm going to explain to you now. So, wage price spiral. A business may expect its suppliers to increase the price of their raw materials. Therefore, the business increases the prices of their products to cover any unexpected future costs. These rising prices cause employers to demand higher wages to cope with the increase in prices. These increase in firms' labour costs, which may increase the prices further. As wages go up, there's also an increase in demand because they have more disposable income. And that's what the wage price spiral is. It's just everything keeps increasing. And lastly, how to respond to inflation, how people respond, So when inflation is high, spending usually goes up temporarily, so like in the short term. So people buy stuff before it rises up even more. But in the long term, it won't continue, spending won't go up, especially if wages don't rise with inflation. Also, high inflation means UK exports are expensive abroad, so UK firms become less competitive globally. And lastly, I should put what deflation is. It's the opposite, when there's an overall decrease in price of goods and services. So the Consumer Price Index measures inflation. It uses index numbers to track the changes in the average cost of a basket of hundreds of goods and services that an average household will regularly buy. I have an example of a CPI right there. And one thing to know, if a line goes up for 2 years in a row, it shows inflation. And obviously, if it goes down, it shows deflation. Now, you need to know a few formulas. The index number, which is the average value of a basket divided by the base value of a basket times 100. In the exam, you will be given, you won't be given a formula, but you'll be given that. It will say the average value of a basket in 2015 is this, and the base, or it won't say the base value. What a base is like the first, it means the beginning. So it may say, the CPI is from 2010 to 2015, and it will say the value of the basket in 2010 was, let's say, 20, and in 2015 it was this one. Because 2010 was like the first year that they're using, that's the base value. Hopefully that makes sense. And yeah, to find the index number, it's average value divided by base value times 100. Just remember, base will always mean like the first one, the beginning. Then obviously you may have to rearrange it to find the average value of a basket, which is just index number divided by 100, and you times that by the base value of a basket. And just the last thing we're going to look at, how does inflation affect the business strategy? Well, businesses producing luxury goods will be hit the hardest. They may advertise a lot or reduce the price of products to stimulate demand. However, advertising can increase costs, and the firm may not get sales to cover these costs. And if a firm decreases price too much, customers may see it as a poor quality product, and it will lose its good brand image. Another way businesses respond is that high inflation can be good times to actually expand. If interest rates are lower than the rate of inflation, it's cheap to borrow money. This is because the interest the firm would earn on savings would be less than the profit they would make from selling products at the new prices, which have been increased inflation. And lastly, it is hard for a firm to plan during high inflation, so it needs stable prices to make accurate forecasts. This topic is usually one students kind of fail or don't do as good on. So make sure you do watch this video a couple of times and try to get in your head. If you don't understand anything, just let me know in the comments. And just quickly, with the high inflation time to expand, what I mean by that, you will get less returns when putting your money in a savings account compared to the profits you can make due to the fact that prices have increased a lot more. That's what I was trying to say. But apart from that, as I always say, I just get to the point and give you the information you need so I don't waste your time. All I ask for is a subscribe and like and share with your friends.